Thank you for joining us today. I am here with Jeremy Jester from Iron Valley Supply, and we're here to talk about how you as a firearm dealer can sell more and save time all while stocking less. So for the purpose of today, we're gonna make this educational, right? So regardless of which point of sale or e-commerce provider you're using, and regardless of which distributor you're ordering from, our goal today is that you're going to learn what capabilities are out there so that you can hopefully take advantage of those. Ask your vendors, ask your suppliers and your technology partners what's available, what's not available, and what you can leverage. And of course, if you want to learn more about us at Celerant or Iron Valley, we're here to talk one-on-one after today's live session. So before we jump in, some quick housekeeping. We want to hear your questions. So on the right-hand side, there's a little question pane. Feel free to type any questions, send them our way as soon as you think of them. We will save time at the end of our session to go over any of those questions. This session is also being recorded. So everyone who has registered will receive the recorded link shortly after the live session. So with that, we will jump in. We'll start with some quick introductions. Jacob was supposed to be joining us. He unfortunately is traveling and on the road and ended up not being able to make it. But just so everybody knows, Jacob Ring is the Director of Product Management over at Iron Valley Supply. And he works very closely with Jeremy. And Jeremy, I'll let you introduce yourself, of course, since you're here.
Hello, yeah, I'm Jeremy Jester. I'm Director of Sales Strategy here at Iron Valley Supply. I have been here at this company for 25 years, a little over 25 years now. I've been in sales as an account manager. I've been in purchasing as a buyer. I've been as his team lead, and now I have this Director of Sales Strategy title. I'm responsible for about half of our sales force, and I'm responsible for our strategy around sales and how to serve our dealer partners' needs.
Awesome. Well, thanks for that. And my name is Michelle Salerno. I am the Chief Growth Officer here at Celerant. I've been with Celerant about 20 years, work out of our main office, which is in New Jersey. And my main focus here is really strategic partnerships, growth for our company, growth for our clients, and specifically, of course, that all goes back to marketing and sales and customer retention. So we have a mix of merchants on today's call. A lot of you order from Iron Valley already, and a lot of you are already using the Celerant software, and some of you are not doing either of those things. So we'll just do a quick introduction of our two companies, just for those of you who don't know all about us as of yet. So go ahead, Jeremy.
All right, so yeah, as I said before, we were bangers back in the day. We rebranded in late 2022, early 23. We rolled out a new dealer partner website that's got a lot of great upgrades. We do the full line of firearms, ammo, suppressors, NFA items, and all those allied sort of brands. So where we've got 150 brands amongst those folks. We keep a list of A items and B items. We stratify our inventory there. On our A items, which are the most popular things, the most staple stuff, we have about a 70% in stock rate. As far as shipping out the door, if you get an order into us before 2 o'clock Central, about 99% of the time, we'll get that order out the same day. That's super important for our dealer partners to be able to get their stuff just in time, which dovetails right in with what we do with folks like Celerant, getting that stuff to you as fast and efficiently as we can. We offer a zero risk back order service for our dealers. It's available if you submit the orders through Celerant or if you just call us. So what that entails is you tell us what you demand, and then we put it in the system. The system will track it. The oldest orders get filled first whenever those products arrive. You have zero risk as a dealer partner in that. If you want all 10 you back ordered, we'll ship you all 10. If you want one of the 10, we'll ship you all 10. If you want none of the 10, that's fine. We just want to base our purchase strategy and dig into the data about what's in demand out there in the world, because that's very important, because you as the dealers, the boots on the ground, having the consumers walking in your door, are going to tell us what you need and what you want. For the data that we feed to Celerant, every 2 hours the quantities are updated, every 6 hours the prices are updated. And then we have a dedicated staff here at Iron Valley that works on making sure all of our information is correct, the photos and all of that data connected to each SKU is available and correct. And then we can pass that information through Celerant to you, our dealer partners.
Awesome. So we're going to walk through all of that in terms of the integration and how all that works. But Jeremy, if I were to ask you one thing, what differentiates Iron Valley Supply from all the other distributors from your viewpoint, what would that be?
The easiest answer, the one we love to hang our hat on, is we will ship your order the same day, 99.9% of the time. There's very few exceptions. We really leaned into doing our back order demand service. So that's very, in the firearms industry, you've got a lot of things that end up being vaporware, a lot of things that are seasonal, some things that are hard to find. And we really looked for a way, technology-based way, that we could leverage the systems that we have invested in from an IT perspective to track and fill that demand in the most efficient fashion possible. And then we felt like it was important to offer that to our dealer partners, but give it to you in a way that is no risk for them. So like I said, they can back order one thing, they can take one thing, they can back order 10 things, they can take one thing. We're not gonna put any financial risk on you. That you made the commitment to say, hey, I want 10 of these things. Well, that's fine. If you only take 5, hey, that's great. We love to have the data. The demand data is super important in the firearm space because it changes fast. There's things that are in and out of fashion. There's things that are in and out of season. So the more we know about the demand, the better we can serve our dealer partners.
Yeah, these days it's all about data and having visibility into the data all across the touch points in the supply chain. All right, well, thank you for that. So at Celerant, I know a lot of you on today's live session are already using our software, so you know who we are. But for those of you who don't, we are a retail software provider, and we really pride ourselves in being an all-in-one system. As a gun shop, you can run your entire business on Celerant, from your brick and mortar side of the business, your point of sale, your inventory management, your compliance, your e-commerce. We'll design, develop, launch your website, also mobile apps. We even have email marketing platform. It's all about that integrated, connected data, right? You can send smarter emails based on integrated data with triggers based on purchase history. So we've got 8 offices. We got about 245 team members. We are all over the country and even internationally. We got about 4,000 retailers using our software. We're about to celebrate our 26th anniversary this fall. And we've been a preferred software provider for the NSSF and the NRA for a little over 20 years. And then more recently, the ATA and also NASGW. We've got 2 logos there on the bottom. Those are our 2 systems. We've got 2 platforms. Cumulus is our lighter, more cost-effective solution for these smaller dealers. And then Stratus Enterprise, as its name says, is our more advanced system. So if you have multiple stores, a custom-built e-commerce website, just doing higher volume, custom functionality, you'll be more in the Stratus world. So with that, we are going to get started here, and we do have a lot to cover. We're going to talk about how you as a dealer can save time, sell more, reduce errors, and do all of this thanks to technology, right? So the heavy lifting is already done by Celerant, in this case, Celerant and Iron Valley Supply, right? We've built this integration behind the scenes to make this functionality accessible to our shared dealers. But I can't stress enough, even if you're not using our Celerant platform, your current point of sale provider, if it supports firearms specifically, and even your e-commerce provider, hopefully can maybe do some of this. So, and even if it's not Iron Valley, regardless of who your suppliers are, ask questions, talk to your partners, find out what they're capable of, because a lot of this is available, and you just have to know, maybe what you don't know, and ask those questions and learn how to implement it for your business. So we're going to walk through integrated catalogs. Now, I'm not talking about getting a spreadsheet from your supplier and manually importing that into your point of sale software. Of course, you can do that. Some of you, all of you probably are already doing that. This is different. This is actually integrated behind the scenes so that when you're logged in to your retail software, the catalog is accessible within the software. Electronic ordering, being able to order from the system. It's all about being in one place, having your staff working more effectively and efficiently from one system, not having to go all over the place. And then even taking that a step further and automating your ordering, getting that inventory just in time. And then we'll flip to online, right? Where we're not talking about store replenishment. In this case, we're talking about an endless aisle, being able to sell more products on your website because you're actually not stocking the merchandise. Jeremy, real quick, how big is your warehouse?
70-ish thousand square feet. So we moved into this new facility in 2018. It's a big open footprint warehouse. It's got beautiful, nice tilt-up concrete walls of great lighting.
How many products?
Currently about 15,000 SKUs across, I counted up this morning, 170 vendors actually.
Okay. So just imagine you can lean on your supplier to fulfill your e-commerce orders. You can basically sell anything and everything on your website that is in stock at your distributor, and they will drop ship it on your behalf. So really being able to sell more, offer way more products, wider product lines, and be able to do that easily and efficiently by having your suppliers drop ship on your behalf. And then towards the end, we'll look at a couple of success stories, a couple of dealers who have really embraced technology. And then, as always, we'll save time at the end for questions. So again, for those of you just joining, enter any questions in the question pane on the GoToWebinar. And at the end, we'll save 10 minutes to go through them. So first, we are going to focus on brick and mortar, and we're going to focus specifically on store replenishment and how you as a dealer can keep your shelves stocked and know exactly what you need to buy and when. So before we jump into it though, Jeremy, walk us through from your perspective, what are some of the common inventory challenges that a lot of the dealers are facing and struggling with today?
As we exited out of the COVID 1,000-year flood, it's getting the inventory right-sized and getting that mix correct. So where you've got the right number of units for a period of time to develop your run rate, and you're not stocking too much inventory. You only need 6 of these to get you through a week or 10 days, and then you can reorder them from Iron Valley or any of your other wholesale partners. You don't have to keep 10 in the back like you did a few years ago. Inventory is widely available throughout the industry. The supply chain is full of stuff to sell. There's lots of things out there. As a retailer, you don't need to carry as much inventory as you did just a few years ago. You can lean on your wholesale partners and to get that stuff in your store and available to sell. You can reorder weekly. We've got a lot of dealer partners that do, a couple of big replenishment orders early on in the week, maybe some fill-in orders later. But generally the ebb and flow is the beginning of the week. We see a lot of folks restocking, replenishing what they sold over the busier weekend time frame, and then coming to us to make sure that their top sellers and what they saw go out the door match up with our data set. We keep a track of our top selling items, and our account managers can look at it and access it and tell you, are the things that are in our top 10 handguns and our top 10 long guns and our top 10 ammunition, are those also things that you're stocking, and how that changes. We track it in a running 5 days. So we keep rolling it over every day, going back 5 days. So we know what, at least from our perspective, is going out to our dealers, and then we can tell kind of a run rate about what they're selling at retail and what's going on out there to help be a value add expert on what's going on out there in the market, what things are hard to get, what things are staples, and then match up that data between what you're seeing at your store versus what we're seeing at a couple thousand other stores throughout the country.
Yeah, and the other big thing too is how much time are dealers wasting being manual, right?
Yep.
So it's not making sure you have enough product, making sure your fastest items are always in stock, your fastest moving items, I should say, but also how much time is your team wasting and how many mistakes are being made because so much of your business is still so manual.
Yep, we've seen that a lot, especially as people have modernized their retail businesses. We see, and we've peeked over the horizon, and I've really preached to the sales team here about, we have to have available inventory in stock to be seen on our website, to be seen in the ERP by you talking on the phone, and to be seen on the dashboards of folks who are signed up with Celerant or any of the other third-party vendors. Is if it's not showing in that feed and your rank and you've signed up to have 5 or 6 or 8 different wholesale partners in it, you're going to look at that and you can efficiently tell who's got what in stock today that they can ship me today and at what price. And that's a super powerful tool to be able to be efficient about the time that you spend replenishing and stocking and doing POs to refill your inventory. So we've worked really hard here to make sure that we have those A items, those top selling items in stock at a greater rate than we did even 12 months ago. Our total inventory in stock position is much better than it was a year ago as well. So while excuse me, well, you say on the A items we're 70% in stock, overall in our inventory we're bumping a little over 50% in stock availability all the time. So
Awesome.
that means when you look at your Celerant dashboard and you see who's got a Glock 43X MOS in stock, you can see that we've got them. You can see that 5 or 6 other of your wholesale partners have those too. So it makes it far more time efficient. They're less having to look up on 6 different websites or having to call 3 or 4 different account managers. Hey, do you have this thing? Or if you have a guy that walks in for that special order widget, that blue and gold Desert Eagle 44 mag, which most people want 50s, but occasionally some guy comes in and wants a 44 mag. Who's got that and where is it? You can go to your dashboard and you can find it, as opposed to going to 6 different individual websites to find it.
Which actually rolls us right into our first poll question that I just launched. So go ahead and everyone read that question there. I'll read it out loud. Select the best answer that fits for your business. So the question is, how do you currently order inventory? So are you placing your orders manually via phone or email? Are you calling your sales rep over at Iron Valley and waiting for them to call you back, or manually looking at all these different places like Jeremy just described? Are you placing your orders on the dealer website, your distributor's dealer website? Are you ordering digitally through your point of sale system? So I'm sure a lot of our Celerant retailers are going to select C here, hopefully. And then last is our absolute rock stars. I am already automating ordering based on my min-max levels. So go ahead and select. We are at 62%. So we still have a couple people out there, quite a few people who have not yet selected their response. So I'll give it a few more seconds. And then we're going to show these results here in real time. I always love doing this. It really gives us an idea of who's on today's session, which will help us sort of guide where we take the conversation here. All right, we're at 65%. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. And it is exactly what I expected. So let me close that and I'm going to share it. Jeremy, go ahead, read the results here. What do we got?
Far and away, I place my orders on the dealer website, which we really appreciate. We love that. Right. That functionality and that availability that you can go in there and send that through. Yeah, I do. In my time as an account manager, I did have several dealers that would send me multiple orders throughout the day. I could combine it in the background and then send it when they said to send it. Do the same thing with the orders that I received through partners like Celerant that would send the orders the same way. The integration's generally present them on our end in the same fashion.
Mm-hmm. So it's presented on your end in the same fashion, but for the dealer experience, it's much more streamlined because they're doing it all within the system. So, okay, I am going to hide that, and then let's get back to our session here. We will keep it rolling. So first, we're going to talk about the catalog imports. And again, this is not spreadsheets that we're manually importing into the system. This is actually an integration that the point of sale provider has already done with your supplier, right? So in this case, us at Celerant and Iron Valley, we've connected our systems so that when you're logged in to your Celerant back office software, you can select a drop down and a list of all the different distributors that we integrate with are there, and you'll click the name Iron Valley Supply. Now, if you haven't requested that this is turned on, and if we haven't set this up for you, you will not be able to access the catalog. And that's because we need to make sure that you are an approved dealer of the supplier, and we need to make sure we're setting it up with your unique credentials, because the pricing and everything that you're going to see is specific to you in a lot of cases. So it's important that you request that this be set up with your Celerant account rep. We don't charge for any of this stuff. We used to charge for all of these integrations. We no longer charge our clients. We want our clients, we encourage our clients to use distributor integrations, because this is really what is going to make your business run so much more efficiently. So going back to the catalog. So you select on that first image there, you see that's where we selected Iron Valley Supply, and then right within your Celerant software, in this case, you'll see the catalog. There is a color code where, okay, these are products that don't yet exist in your database, but they exist on the Iron Valley side. You can select them and you can import them. Or these are products that already live in your Celerant database and don't have any updates. We don't need to do anything there, right? If it's a product that exists already in your database and Iron Valley has made a change, maybe the price changed, maybe something changed in the description, you can refresh your database, couple of clicks, and you can refresh your database at your point of sale so that it has the current data, product data from the supplier. You can also set pricing rules, and you can very easily bring in products, apply your pricing rules, whether it be price dollar over cost or percent over cost. You can do a different rule for web, for e-commerce versus brick and mortar. It's up to you. There's a lot of different options that you can set. It's all preset logic, and then you just go ahead and click import or refresh, and then it'll bring all those products in. So think about how much time you're going to save just in that one piece. You're not having someone manually enter all these products. We know when you do that, there's room for a lot of error. You're not collecting spreadsheets from your suppliers and figuring out, or having your software provider import them for you. It's seamlessly between our two systems on the back end, syncing the data and doing it through the integration that we have built. So that's the first step. And of course, Iron Valley has product data for thousands of firearms, ammo, hunting supplies. It's not just guns. Lots of different products here. The second step is ordering. So as we talked about, you can go to the dealer website, which is where the majority of you are going. I think it was 69% are going onto the website and ordering. 13%, it's actually smaller than I expected. I expected it to be a higher percentage of people calling their rep or emailing their rep, or a combination of all of the above. But what you can also do, again, if you have this integration, so for Celerant dealers, you have to ask us to set this up for you, and we'll set it up. But once this is set up, you can create your purchase orders within the retail software platform, and then you can automatically send them to your supplier digitally. So you create the PO, you send it electronically to your supplier. Now, as I said earlier, on the supplier side, they're receiving the order the same way they receive the order if it's coming through their dealer website. So on their end, it's the same experience. On your end, it's going to save you time, because now you're not having to go into multiple places. You're doing it all right within the software that you're already using to run your store. So that is the electronic ordering. And the other part of this too is once you create that PO and you send it out to your supplier, then when that order arrives at your back door, you're ready to receive it, you can receive it right against the PO that you already created within your system. So it's saving you time on that end as well. All right, the next one, and this is one that I really encourage, even if you're on the call today and you're using the integration, I really encourage you all to take a minute and listen on this slide and really try this out. This is automated ordering. Now, I know some dealers get nervous by the word automated, but what I recommend you do is start small. I actually recommend usually that you just start with 10 or 15 products. Just pick your fastest moving products, your staple products, the things you never want to be sold out of. You always want to have those products on your shelf. Start there. What you do is you create a min-max level within our software. And you're not just going to pull a number out of the air. You want to create a min-max number, a level for each individual product. And you're going to do that using the data within the Celerant software or your own software, right? You want to look at sales history, you want to look at on hand, you want to look at all those different metrics. You can also do a fill-in from sales, but your account rep at Celerant and your sales rep at Iron Valley can help you do this. If you want to start with 10 or 15 or 20, just let us know. Let your Iron Valley supply sales rep know, and we can get the data and we can help you determine what should my min-max level be for this particular product. You set that up for, say, 20 products, and then you turn on the automated ordering. And what it's going to do is the software will know exactly when you hit that minimum level, and then it's going to automatically generate a purchase order to get you to the maximum, and then it's going to push that PO to your supplier to then fulfill. We're going to also pull back, in many cases, an acknowledgement, and then we'll pull back an advanced ship notice in some cases, depending on the supplier. So it really is a bi-directional integration here, where it's going to make your life so much easier and eliminate so much of the manual data entry, and also just the need to constantly be paying attention and making sure that you're on top of it and knowing to place that order, because the system is going to do it automatically. One thing I do recommend is you start small with, the 10 or 20 and then see how it goes. And then you grow from there. Once you see it's working and it's working well and it's saving you and your team time and it's ensuring you're properly stocked, then open it up. Do another 10, do another 20. Whatever you feel comfortable with. You don't have to do everything. And the other important piece here is you can prioritize your vendors. So I'm sure Jeremy wants everybody on this call to make Iron Valley priority one. But we get it. We know you're ordering from multiple distributors, right? You're ordering usually from 2 or 3 or 5 or 6. And different suppliers have different products. So you can prioritize your distributors based on the product or the brand, and you can have different prioritizations. So right now, as Jeremy said, supply we have full supply here, right? But going back a couple years ago, when supply was in very, very high demand, this was fantastic, because what would happen is if Iron Valley is vendor 1, the order is going to go to Iron Valley. If they can't fulfill it, it's going to go, we'll pull it back, and then it'll automatically go to vendor 2. And if vendor 2 can partially fulfill it, it'll go automatically to vendor 3. It's going to keep doing it behind the scenes until the entire order can be fulfilled. So think about all that manual effort and all those phone calls or all those dealer website visits. All of that is eliminated because it's all done systematically through your retail software. Again, don't be scared of it. Start small and test it out and see how it goes. You can always remove it or you can always add more. But when you can start to automate a lot of this, you're going to really start to save time and just operate more efficiently.
In our own ERP system, we use a similar metric or a similar scheme to monitor our run rates and then to set reorder quantities for our buyers, so they're more efficient at what they can do. They can cover more ground, they can review their lines faster. So this sort of gives retailers the same opportunity to leverage that automation and the software's ability to tell you when something has gotten low, and you don't have to physically go out and put hands or eyes on it.
Yep. All right, so we're going to shift gears, and now we're going to talk about e-commerce and online sales and how you can offer that endless aisle and really sell more by stocking less. So first, let's walk through e-commerce challenges. Jeremy, what do you all see, or what do you hear your dealers, complaining about or being challenged with the most?
The biggest challenge there is sometimes being integrated and having the right partner that gets all the data pieces together for you. And then after that, it's making sure that, that inventory integrity piece, that we're providing a regular update on quantity and on price, and that you can sort of rely on us to have that piece available there. And then when we have exclusive products or we have special runs, that those get pushed out on the platforms for you to take advantage of, and they'll show up on an e-commerce platform to sort of be a force multiplier and sell to a much wider audience than you would have just coming to your physical retail location.
Yep. And where we tend to see the biggest bottleneck when it comes to launching an e-commerce site is having the retailer having to find all those product images, product descriptions. You got short copy, long copy, all of this product information that you need to ultimately get on your website. That takes time, and collecting all of that and making sure it's accurate, and then getting it up on the site.
That's the same challenge we have here, populating the same data sets. And like I said earlier, we have at least one, if not 1.5, sometimes 2.5 people that focus on that as part of their daily task that they do every day that they're here. So that's super important. And we realize the integrity of that data and what it's going out onto the platforms and what it's ultimately feeding to the retailer's e-commerce platform is very important. And we do find errors on occasion when a number or in a description or an image is just right. There have been instances when I can go, one of my salespeople comes up to me and says, "Is this the right image? Is this the right thing?" And I can Google it. I can see all of the different e-commerce websites that have the same error. And I'm like, well, I know where that came from. That came from the manufacturer, and we all uploaded the wrong thing to begin with. So we do look out for that sort of thing. We do bird dog those things and chase them down so that the retailers can depend on and have confidence in the data that we're providing.
Yeah, and the importance really is, through the technology and this integration is giving the retailer the ability to lean on your supplier. Let your supplier do all this heavy lifting. Let Iron Valley pay 2 people to do this every day and update the data.
We got to do it every day anyway, so
right.
We're already here doing it.
You're just pulling it. Another big challenge, I would say, less related to distributors, but just e-commerce in general, is having that integration, that real-time connectivity between your store and your website, right? How many times have you sold something online not realizing you're out of stock and then you got to cancel the order? Or how many times has a customer gone on your website and saw that you have something in stock, drove down to your store only to find out you don't have it? And then how pissed off is that customer, right? So having that real-time connectivity between your sales channels is another big challenge. All right, so another poll question. I am going to launch it here. So describe your online sales. So you should see that now. So go ahead and select the option that makes the most sense for your business. Describe your online sales. I don't have e-commerce yet. I have e-commerce, but not using any distributor integrations. I have e-commerce and I have just one integration set up, whether that's online feed or dropship, either or, it doesn't matter. And then there's our rock star at the end. I have e-commerce with multiple vendor integrations already set up. So go ahead and make your selection. All right, hopefully we're not putting everyone to sleep here. We only have 35%. So go ahead and select the answer that most applies. Oh, there we go. All right, that woke everybody up. We're at 60%. So I'll leave it open for a few more seconds. Wow, okay, I'm liking all these rock stars on here. We actually have quite a bit that have selected option D, which is awesome. All right, we're at 72%, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this one. And I'm gonna share it. And Jeremy, if you can read, wow. Yeah, look at that.
E-commerce with multiple vendor integrations. Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you definitely need multiple feeds to pull from to populate your inventory and your product assortment.
Love that. All right. So I can't read those percentages because when I flip it, it makes it so small. What is that? 40%.
So
D,
40% right? is D, 20% is C.
Got it.
And then 27 does not have e-commerce. So.
Okay, and then what is that? 13% for e-commerce, but no integrations. Mm-hmm. Good. All right. So a lot of you are already using multiple integrations. So you guys, I'm preaching to the choir here, which is great. But for those of you who aren't so familiar, let's talk through this and flush this out a little bit. So the online product feed, again, we've done the heavy lifting. Well, I should say in this case, Iron Valley Supply has done the heavy lifting because they have all this valuable product data, right? Your distributors, all of them, they have, well, they have a lot of product data, right? From product descriptions, long copy, short copy, product images. Some suppliers, depending on the supplier, they'll have one image per product. They'll have multiple images per product. So it depends sometimes on the distributor and what they offer. But in our case, we'll pull from the distributor whatever we can, anything and everything we can, and we'll make it accessible for your website. We also pull MAP pricing, MSRP, and most importantly, quantity on hand, right? Because to make this all work, you need to know exactly how much is in stock at your distributor. So we pull all this product data from the supplier, and then we make it really easy to display all of this on your e-commerce site. So this helps you launch your website a lot faster because you're pulling all that product data and making it displayed on your site pretty easily through our integration. And then we're pulling that on hand. So you know exactly what's in stock. And you can even set, with our system, you can even set rules, right? So if I want to set a rule, Iron Valley Supply has to have at least 5 of these in stock because I'm a little conservative and I don't want to oversell. At least 5. As long as there's 5 in stock in their warehouse, I want it to show on my website. As soon as the integration knows that there's less than 5 in their warehouse, it's going to come off your site. And it happens automatically. You don't have to do anything because that's the beauty of this integration. So you can also set pricing rules. So just like we talked about earlier, you can set pricing rules % over cost, dollar amount over cost. You can set a rule that says never sell below MAP. There's all these different areas that you can select, and then it's all automated. An important reminder for everyone, regardless of who your provider is, how frequently this refreshes is going to vary. It's going to vary by distributor and it's going to vary by e-commerce provider, right? Because different distributors refresh their data differently. Some distributors once a day, once every couple hours, once every 6 hours, once an hour. It's going to vary. And then in addition to that, how often does your e-commerce provider then pull the data, right? The distributor is pushing the update, the quantity change, and then your e-commerce provider is pulling it. So it's 2 questions to ask. And Jeremy, how often are you all pushing those updates? I think the quantity update and the price update,
we do it in 2 separate batches just for the sheer volume of the data. So we do quantity every 2 hours. We figured that's pretty good, a sweet spot, depending
Yep.
on how orders roll out the door here and things roll in. So every 2 hours has been a pretty good metric there. And then for price uploads and changes, we do it every 6 hours, and we try to make sure that we have updated stuff to go live like first thing in the morning at 6 Central Time, and then also another update at the midday point.
Good.
So, and then we'll, our purchasing team, our strategy folks, Jacob, and then we'll work in the afternoon to make any further updates or changes and promo stuff that'll roll out for the next day.
Cool. All right, so next step. So you as a retailer, you've got all these products that you're showing on your website. Again, you can basically sell anything and everything you want on your website that you know is in stock at your supplier. And then on your website, hopefully you're using e-commerce that's built for firearms. There'll be the age verification. That's a huge piece. Dynamic search tools, right? How are your customers finding the products that they want? A little plug here for us at Celerant. We have our new AI predictive search. And as with anything with AI, right? It's all about helping you or helping your customers find things faster. Help them get to the product page that they want to get to with just faster, and being able to predict through AI how they can get there and click through a lot faster. Also an FFL locator, right? Can't sell firearms on your website unless you've got that FFL locator. Because if they're local, they can, of course, come to your store and complete the transaction. But in a lot of cases, they're not going to be local, right? That's the beauty of e-commerce. You can sell to customers everywhere. With that FFL locator, they will select a local FFL that they want to go to. And on our e-com, we've got the FFL locator with the verifier and all that stuff. They can select the FFL that they want to go to complete the transaction, and then that's what will then be used for the distributor to drop ship to that local FFL. Checkout. How simple is your checkout? How complicated is your checkout? It should hopefully be a simplified one-page checkout with some different fulfillment options, right? Whether it's buy online, pick up in store, right? Whether it's firearms or not. Your website has to be smart enough to know, is this something I stock in my store and my customer can come today and hold it and touch it and feel it? Or is this something that I show available on my website because it's supplied by my distributor, in which case it's drop shipped and then they can't actually touch it in the store. So you have to make sure your website is properly communicating all of this to your end user so they're not getting confused. And again, that you don't want them to drive to the store with the expectation of holding a gun and then it not be there. And then also more modern payment methods, right? Like buy now, pay later. Of course, there's specific buy now, pay later options for firearms like Cordova or Sezzle, but does your e-commerce provider integrate with them? And can you offer that to make it easier for your consumers to buy more and just making it easier for them to purchase? Alrighty, so next is fulfillment. So this is the piece, this is the drop ship piece that we want to really kind of close this loop with here. So if you have the product stocked in your store, then of course you want to fulfill from your store, right? So your website then will send the order to your store will fulfill it, integrated shipping, pick, pack, ship, all that right within the system. If the product is not stocked in your store location, that's when it'll automatically get sent. You'll send it to your supplier to then drop ship on your behalf. And that's where then Iron Valley Supply, in this case, will come in and they will get the product in their warehouse. They'll ship it out same day, as long as it's within the threshold that Jeremy described. And they're sending it out on your behalf. Your consumer knows no different. They think it's just coming from you, the retailer, and it's actually being handled. You're offsetting that fulfillment with your supplier and having them do it on your behalf. And then, of course, if they're coming into your shop or they're going to that local FFL, there's the compliance piece. So if they're coming into your shop, hopefully your point of sale is integrated with your A&D. If it's built for firearms, it should be. Maybe your point of sale even has the A&D internally within your system. Either way, having it integrated and having it electronic is the key. When you're doing everything manual, it just wastes a lot of time, and of course causes errors. And then now your 4473s, hopefully they're digital, and now you can even store them in the cloud. So, at Celerant, we've got our own A&D book within our system. We also have integrations to Fastbound or even Gun Store Master. And for our dealers who are using Fastbound, we have that integration with 4473 Cloud, where you can store all your forms in the cloud and you can say goodbye to paper forever.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
pretty
lots
big.
of ways to streamline.
I've talked to dealers over the years that have either moved or some that use the strategy of changing their FFL number every few years. One guy sent, I forget, like a 4,000 or 5,000 pound pallet full of old 4473s back to ATF in West Virginia.
Yeah.
He had a lot of paper he was paying to store.
Same thing with one of our success stories here we'll show in a minute, Jim's Firearms. When they moved their whole business from manual to digital, they had an entire massive closet that was just filled with paper 4473s, filled in binders. And long story short, of course, they closed out their FFL. ATF came and took all of it in trucks, or they sent it out in trucks. And now that big, huge closet is their compressor cave. So now they're carrying products and stocking products in extra space that they never would have had if they still had paper. All right, so we are perfectly on time here. We got about 13 minutes left. We got, well, actually a lot of questions rolling in already, but we're gonna wrap it up here, just really the benefits of an integrated system. So I can't say enough, technology is where it's all going. And the dealers, the retailers who are really embracing technology and really leaning in to technology are the ones that are going to be more successful and just more competitive moving forward. So, whether it's Celerant or any other system, being able to manage your entire business electronically and having every aspect of that business connected, including your distributors and your replenishment and your dropship and all these things that we're talking about. When you can have all that electronic and connected, it's just going to save massive amounts of time and help you be more successful. Of course, saving time, eliminating errors, reducing risk. I mean, that's really what it's all about. So 2 quick success stories. The first one, Vance Outdoors. So Vance Outdoors, they've been with us since 2008. They've been to just about almost every client conference that we've hosted each year. Iron Valley, you guys will be there too this year. But they now have 5 stores, 2 e-commerce websites and warehouse. They sell boats. I mean, they literally do it all. And they're running their whole business on our software and have been for almost 2 decades. Recently, they have upgraded from our prior command system onto Stratus. But really, between the 5 stores, the e-commerce, the compliance piece, they're in process of moving to Fastbound, or they just recently finished that switch. So again, whether you want to use our internal A&D book or you want to use Fastbound, we encourage using Fastbound. We don't charge our clients for that either. We have an integration to Fastbound. Of course, you got to pay Fastbound, but the integration costs nothing, and it's all connected in one system. So Vance Outdoors is also starting to use a lot of online feeds, starting to embrace dropship on their website. And so, again, this is just an example of how another dealer has really made success with embracing technology. Jim's Firearms, I mentioned this one already because I thought of it when you mentioned all the paperwork. But that is Jim. Jim in the picture there, he's owned Jim's Firearms for 34 years. And that's his son, Dylan, on the left. And, we hear a lot of these stories, right, where the son is coming in, that the children are coming in and starting to take over the family business. And what are they doing? They're automating it, right? So Jim's Firearms was always very manual for 32 years. And now they are fully automated. E-commerce, soon online feeds, drop ship, all of this. Again, here, Fastbound connected with us, 4473 cloud. I mean, you name it, they're doing it. And it is, we got a success story, a video on the website if you want to check it out, but it's just a great, great story about how a super successful business was fully manual and has embraced technology to now automate every aspect. All right, we talked about a lot of stuff here. So to kind of wrap it up, and of course, we're here to talk one-on-one if you want to learn more and have specific questions after the session. But the key takeaways here are when it comes to products and ordering, replenishment, selling online, you can really lean on your vendors here to do a lot more with less. And all of this functionality, depending on the supplier, I'll add different suppliers offer different things, right? Some suppliers don't drop ship. Some suppliers will drop ship, but they won't drop ship firearms. And then other suppliers like Iron Valley will do all of the above. So it's there, it's accessible. You just have to know it's there and be aware of it, which is why I love hosting these sessions, because we just continue to educate. But then try it out. And you don't have to do all of it at once. You can start with just, you know, the brick and mortar or the e-com, and then do more. Start small, but get started, whether it's the catalog import, electronic ordering, automated ordering, online feed, drop ship, compliance. If you're not using Celerant software and you're looking to maybe move to more of a software platform like this, you can take our quiz right there, celerant.com/quiz. We have two systems. We've got Cumulus, which is our more cost-effective, lighter solution. And then we have Stratus, which is our more enterprise. So gyms and Vance, they're all on Stratus because they're larger businesses. But take the quiz. It takes 3 minutes. It's very specific to your needs, and it will tell you which system is going to be best for your business. And then there's a pricing calculator too. You can just go ahead and see the price there as well. It's monthly SaaS. That wraps us up. So here's our contact info. We put our direct information here. So if you have questions for Jeremy, his email is there. Mine is as well. If you are interested in learning more, you can visit that landing page at celerant.com/iron-valley. Right at the top, if you see that image, you'll see the big red button, Get Integration. Click the button, fill out the form. We'll get that at Celerant, and we will reach out and follow up with you. Whether you're a Celerant client looking to get started, again, there's no extra fees for this. Fill out that form, and then we'll reach out to you and get the process started. If you're not using Celerant and you want to talk more, fill out the form, and we'll get in touch with you there as well. We can schedule a demo. We have had a bunch of questions come through. And we have 7 minutes, which is great. So let me go over here and pull out the questions here. And a reminder, you know, just go ahead and add any question you want to the pane. We got quite a few here, but then we'll get to all of them. And if we don't get to all of them, we'll answer your questions via email after the session. So the first one here, Greg asked, list of distributors available. Also, does this include a POS? Okay, so I think you're asking for a list of all of the distributors that Celerant integrates with. So we have a list of those, and I can provide those to you. I have your email from the registration form, so I'll send that to you right after the live session. But of course, we integrate with Iron Valley Supply, and we have 25 firearms distributors that we integrate with. So I won't list all of them here because that's a lot, but I will absolutely send it to you via email. And then also, does this include a POS? So, so if you purchase Celerant's point of sale, we've got a SaaS package that's just brick and mortar, which would be point of sale. We have a software as a service package for just e-commerce in case you only have web. And then most of our dealers buy the bundle, right? It's the store and the e-commerce all in one. It's a monthly bundle. It includes all these distributor integrations. So if you check out celerant.com/firearms, it's all there. The pricing is there, the bundles are there, and there's just a ton of information there that I think will be helpful. All right, next question. How often do I need to refresh? So I'm not sure if you're referring to the e-commerce or the catalog import, so we'll answer both. So Jeremy, answer again how often your online feed for e-commerce is being refreshed by your team. The retailer doesn't have to do anything on that side because it's happening automatically.
Correct. Yeah, through all the data feeds that we're plugged into, Celerant, our own internal feeds, and other third-party providers, we update every 2 hours on quantity on hand, and we update every 6 hours in the morning and about midday on pricing data. And we separate that out just because of the size of the updates. We figured that it's more important to have the quantity updated in a more regular occurrence than the prices. And the prices don't change that often either.
Right,
so.
Where the quantity does, absolutely.
The quantity absolutely does.
And for the other side of that, the catalog import for the brick and mortar, like for your core database. So that is up to you, right? That is not something that happens automatically. You have to go into the catalog import, select your supplier, and then refresh your database. So you can do that as often as you'd like, but it's a great way to easily see what has been updated by your supplier and your database is out of date. You'll see it so easy, and then you just click refresh. All right, next question. Can I have an intermediate step that allows me to approve the order before it goes out? Okay, so I'm assuming this must be referring to automated ordering, where based on min-max, it's creating the PO and sending it out. So on our side at Celerant, it is creating that order, and then it's actually a scheduled task. So the order is not going to go out to any of the suppliers until that scheduled task. So you can go in and actually, before the task is set to run, you can go in and you can review and you can stop. So that's a scheduled task that allows you to do that. Next, can distributor priority be set for each product, category, or department, or is it global? Wow, really good questions. So it is, yeah, a lot of good questions. So it's up to you. You can set it however you want. We have enhanced this over the years because this has come up both on the dealer side and the distributor side. So you can make it a global setting, right? I'm sure, Jeremy, you would love Iron Valley globally, number one. But yeah, what's more common is, you can set something global, and then you can go in and make changes to specific departments, specific brands, and you can go in and you can do it based on each individual product. You can really go in and change it based on whatever you see fit. So there's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, that's a really good option for sure. I know if you look at it from the distributor, and if you're a dealer looking at the different distributors have different strengths and different vendors in different areas that they're more just better at, right? It's just it's their thing. They do it better. So the ability to select from your distributor partners, like, I want to make sure that, I know, like for us, there are certain vendors that we've always got 70 or better % on hand in stock right now. So you would select those vendors from us. You might select some exclusive products as a line item push from some other vendors. So
right.
It's a great flexibility.
Awesome. Okay, so next question. I'm going to zip through these kind of quick because we actually have a long list of questions here. So we're going to go over. I can stay on, and Jeremy, if you can stay on, we'll answer all these questions.
Yeah.
For those of you who want to stay with us, I'd like to just get these questions answered live. So next, does your POS integrate with any financial softwares, for example, QuickBooks? Yes. So we have, within our system, we have AP and AR. Within Stratus, our enterprise system, we also have GL, but we have integrations to QuickBooks online, also a desktop version as well, although mostly online these days, and a couple other options as well. We do have buy now, pay later options as well, a little different than obviously QuickBooks, but we have, for Firearms, we have Cordova and we have Sezzle. Okay, hold on. Can you sell below map with add to cart for price? Yes, that is a feature that we offer, and you can of course choose to do that if you'd like. Yep. We really try to offer flexibility, right? So depending on how you want to set up your website, or all of this is really how you'll be able to set it up. And typically if it's something that you're looking for that makes sense, that maybe we don't have available, but frankly we think it'll help other dealers too, we're going to put it in. And that's just how we end up enhancing our integrations, moving forward. All right, how does the website take into account California roster? Is there a search filter that limits based on roster? Can I add or delete on the fly if restriction or not is incorrect? So that's a good one, and I personally don't know the answer to that, and I don't want to give misinformation. So what I will do though is I will get that answer and I will send that to you via email. I see your question here also for, can I get a feel for what a California customer searching on the website will see when on our site? That really goes hand in hand with the other. I will say Turner's is another one of our bigger clients who's been with us forever. They're of course based in California. They've got about 25 or 35 stores.
Right.
Yeah, so you can check out their website too, because that's our Celerant eCommerce, and they're California based. Is the weight, if the weight is wrong on calculating a ship from store inventory, who takes the hit? So Jeremy, I'm going to ask you that question, because if the weight is wrong in terms of shipping, who takes the hit? What is your rate for shipping for?
So currently what we're employing is a flat rate on any fulfillment dropship that we offer. It's about in the middle of the range of of fees out there that folks charge. I think it's, I don't have it in front of me, it's like $12.50. So whatever you order. Currently we're right now today limiting drop ships to FFL items, and the shipping question and the shipping cost really is a big part of that. And how do we sort of contain the cost of shipping one box of ammo or one box of one holster or something like that? It's a really difficult question to answer, as to, how can you be competitive out there in the market yet still not just go negative on your margin when we pay to ship it. Even the $12.50 fee on something as simple as a Glock magazine, based on UPS rates and even our discounts, still doesn't cover 100% of the freight. So it does eat into margins. And the shipping thing, consumers have gotten used to the Amazon world, and Prime, but what a lot of people conveniently forget is you're paying $110 now a year for Prime to get that free. So while each individual transaction, the freight looks free, you're still paying for it. So that's one of those things that in the world here where we live in, with the thin margins being the middleman, is the freight question really is difficult to get your arms around. So what we've leaned into is fulfilling FFL drop ships, because the dollar density of those transactions is much more favorable to being able to, make money, is what we're all trying to do here, is not go negative on those transactions.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do 5 more questions and then stop it there, because there's a lot of questions here. Next one, is there a way to turn on auto ordering for specific products? Yes. And this is what I really recommend. You need to start small, right? You don't want to just auto order everything. That's not good business practice. You also need to set up, right? You need to prep. So you need to set your min max level. And so I recommend doing 10, 20 products first, your fastest moving products that you never want to be out of stock. Start small, start there. Prove the concept, grow from there. And we'll walk you through it. Our team can walk you through how to do it. What was the name of the integration for cloud storage? That is 4473 Cloud. Travis Glover is my main contact there. You can check it out on our website too. Just go to our partner page and you'll see a whole page dedicated there. But again, 4473 Cloud. I am using a different POS, but very interested in switching. You have 25 distributors. Wow. 1, what is the process to migrate? Hopefully no one's using all 25. I'll say that. That would be crazy, but we've got them.
A lot of data.
Yeah. So, oh, this is a multi-question. So question 1, what is the process to migrate my bound book? What is the cost? And as far as your POS system, do you have a way to track the advertising method source when entering a new customer that walks through the door? Okay, so let me take that first one. What is the process to migrate my bound book? So we will assign you a dedicated implementation manager, and that person is your point person. That's your person to walk you through the entire onboarding process from the moment you sign until a month or 2 after you go live, right? And even after that, but they're gonna help you do everything. They will train you on the software. We have a team of data conversion specialists. We have an A&D team that will help with your bound book, right? If you're converting off a different system or if you're manual, all different options. So it's hard for me to say because I'm not exactly sure what your option is, but the quick answer is we'll walk you through it. We'll help you every step of the way, and you'll have a dedicated person to help you do that and work with our teams. Cost. All right, so if you go to celerant.com/pricing, our pricing is up on the website there. That's our cumulus pricing. Also, if you go to the Firearms page on our website, we actually have bundles. We know what the bulk of our firearm clients, what they want to purchase. And so we've created bundles that are very specific. So if you go to the Firearms page, you'll see the pricing right there, the bundle, all the options. But really, we'll walk you through the whole process. And of course, I can connect you with a sales rep and they'll schedule a demo, answer any questions, and get you a price. Next, Emma, do you have a gun broker integration? We do. We've integrated with gun broker for 15 years. And we have a brand new gun broker integration coming in another month or 2, where you can not only pull back orders and sync your inventory, but you'll be able to easily post products to gun broker from within our platform. And we have a new feature called precision pricing, where our system in an instant will review your database and tell you which products you should list on gun broker and at which price. Do you have them priced right? And if you don't have them priced right, it's going to suggest the right price based on gun broker data. You can edit, you can change it, you can accept it, and then you can post it all with a couple of clicks. So that is not ready yet. Will be ready in another month or 2. So watch out for that. It's called precision pricing, and it's specifically between Celerant and gun broker.
Yeah, I'll say that's a super powerful tool based on the conversations I've had with dealers over the years. You know, getting that stuff uploaded and posted to your gun broker account is a laborious process. And if you've integrated that and streamlined it, and then you can on the fly edit and be competitively priced, that's a super big advantage for a dealer that really wants to use gun broker as an outlet.
And it's also not just about the time. Yes, the time, it takes a ton of time, but even also just knowing what should I be listing versus not.
Right.
And
do I want to list something that 1,000 other people have listed?
Right.
Maybe not.
Yeah. All right, last question, and we went way over because I love all these questions though. So Krista, last but certainly not least, I sometimes see dealer sites that have very limited information, sometimes just a UPC, but it's the exact same limited information every other dealer has. Well, that sounds like what you just described, Jeremy. Is this a distributor issue? A manufacturer issue, I'll add. And might it sometimes happen with Celerant? Furthermore, is the information, if the information is updated by the distributor, will the e-commerce sites automatically update as well? So, yes. Anything that's updated on the distributor side, it's going to automatically reflect on your website, so you don't have to worry about it. If you see the same information on all these different dealer websites, it's probably because all these different dealers are pulling the exact same inventory feed from their suppliers. The mistake, if it's across all different dealers, is likely going to be with the manufacturer. But Jeremy, you can speak to that better than I.
Yeah, and if you want to take a look at our website, and you can, even if you don't have a login, you can look at all the product data that we provide in the format we provide it in. We've got a nice long description. We've got manufacturer part numbers, our part numbers, UPC codes, map prices in there, MSRP is in there, dealer prices in there. We try to give as much data, and that's the same pieces of data that go to Celerant, that go through all the various API feeds that we put the data through. So that's why we spend a lot of time trying to make sure that it's accurate. And when we find mistakes, we try to get those as corrected as quickly as we can. So yeah, the thing that I've noticed there, I've observed the same thing too, that there are some of the third-party software providers that it's very cookie cutter and very basic. And that can be a challenge, because then your e-commerce page looks like 1,000 other e-commerce pages.
Well, and one thing that we offer at Celerant, which again, shameless plug here, but a differentiator on our side is we're not just pulling that data from the distributor. We are, and a lot of our dealers are choosing just to show it as it's pulled, but we also give our dealers the ability to edit the data. And we encourage our dealers to take the time to go in and read it and edit it, because if there's limitations or incorrect data that's pulling, you can go in and fix it. And you can also go in and just make yours a little unique, because you really don't want your website to look exactly the same as everybody else's. That's certainly not going to help you in the eyes of Google either. So being able to not just pull the data, but edit it, change it, and tweak it on your side is a big advantage. 2 more questions just popped up. So Betty asked, what is the average gain for small mom and pop brick and mortar using e-commerce? And really, the answer is it's really going to vary. It could really vary greatly. We've had, what I think is most important is you go into it with the right expectations, right? If you've never had an e-commerce website, it's your first ever website you're launching, your website doesn't have domain authority yet, so it really can't be competitive in the online world. But where it could be really helpful is for your existing customer base, right? You want to give your existing customers in your community the ability to shop on your website 24/7, find products online. That's a home run. Beyond your current customer base, it takes time and it takes effort to really be competitive in the World Wide Web, because if it were as easy as just launching a site and crushing it, everybody would do it, and it's just not, it just doesn't work that way. So Betty, that answer is going to vary greatly depending on if you have a storefront, how you can leverage that to promote the website, and a lot of other factors. Last question, can I add products not in any distributor database? Of course, yes. So we have retailers who are using online feeds and populating their entire website through the feeds. We've got retailers who are just uploading their own products, and you can sell anything on your website and you can enter it through the feed, or you could just do it manually, through our e-commerce platform backend as well. Right, we got through all the questions. We went way over, so thank you. We still have a lot of people on, so thanks for staying on and listening to all of that. Again, Jeremy, thank you for joining me. And
absolutely.
If anybody wants to see a demo, ask questions, learn more about Iron Valley, or of course Celerant, our contact info is on the screen there. Feel free to reach out. And thanks for joining us. We'll talk soon.
Hey, have a great afternoon. Really appreciate it.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Bye-bye.